Hey there, this is Prabhat Kumar and today I am gonna make an LPG gas cylinder in Blender. So let's get started. So in Blender we will delete the default queue and we will import a cylinder and we will go to the edit mode and go to the front orthography view. We will scale it up on the Z-axis a little bit and we will enable face selection mode and we will select top and the bottom faces of the cylinder and we will make bevels using Ctrl plus B key on keyboard. And we will give it more segments using our scroll wheel, about 3 segments. Now it looks good. Yeah. Now we'll select all by hitting A key on keyboard and we will scale it down along the X and Y axis, keeping Z axis locked. So we will hit Shift plus Z. Little bit, yeah, it looks good. Now what we will do, we'll go to the top view using our pie menu or our numpad key, whatever we like. So we will go to the top view and we will enable edge selection mode and we will deselect everything and now we will select 3 consecutive edges of this inner edge loop and we will do the same in triangular direction like this. Now we will go to the front view and we will extrude it along z-axis a little bit about this and we will go to the bottom view and in the bottom view we will select this second edge loop by holding alt key and hitting left mouse button and again we will go to the front view by using our pie menu and we will extrude it along negative z-axis and now it has been extruded. Now what we will do, we will bring our 3D cursor to this selected part. So for that we will hit Shift plus S on the keyboard to go to the cursor, to bring the cursor to the selected. Now our cursor, 3D cursor is here. Now we will import a torus here. So for that we will hit Shift plus A to import a torus. It is a torus and it is way more bigger than what we need, so we will go to the torus property and we will decrease its minor radius to 0.06 and now we will scale it down a little bit. Going to the front orthography view, we will scale it down to fit in this part of this cylinder. Now what we will do, going to the front orthography view, we will enable wireframe mode and we will try to duplicate it and bring it here. So for that we will hit Shift plus D and we will hit Z key on keyboard to lock it along Z axis and we will bring it here. Now we will go to the top view and we will scale it down to fit in this inner edge loop like this. Now it looks good. Now what we will do, we will make a joint here on the cylinder. So we will disable the X-ray vision and we will make an edge loop here by hitting Ctrl plus R key on keyboard and we will hit escape key to apply this edge loop in the middle of the cylinder. Now what we will do, we will add more edge loops here. So for that we will hit Ctrl plus B keyboard to bevel it. Now we will scale it a little bit up and we will reduce the segment using our scroll wheel and we just need only 3 segments. It's okay. Now the joint has been created. Now we will make some bumps here. So for that we will hit alt and left click on this middle edge loop and we will scale it up a little bit. Looks good. We will make it smooth later by adding subdivision surface modifier, so just forget it for now. And now we will enable face selection mode and we will select this part of the cylinder, this face of the cylinder, and we will make an insert here by hitting I key on keyboard about this size a little bit. We will scale it down a little bit more and we will extrude it. Now we will make another inset here by hitting I key again. Now we will extrude it, and we will do it one more time. And now we will make another inset here, and we will again extrude it, and we will again extrude it, but this time we will hit escape key on keyboard and we will scale it up a little bit, and again we will extrude it. And now we will again make another inset here about this, and we will enable X-ray vision again, and we will again extrude it inward. We enable X-ray vision so that we can see clearly inside this metal knob that we are creating now. And now we will make another inset here, and we will extrude it. Just to be good, now we will again disable the X-ray vision. Now our metal knob is almost created. Now what we will do, we will select these edge loops using Alt plus left click. Sorry, it is on face selection mode. We will enable edge selection mode, and now we will hit Alt plus left click and Shift plus Alt plus left click, and again we will select this edge loop also. And now what we will do, we will enable edge selection mode, and we will select this edge loop using Alt plus left click, and again Alt plus left click, and again Shift. Now what we will do, we will enable edge selection mode, and we will select these edge loops to make it smooth. So for that we will hit Alt plus left click on any one of these edges to select the whole edge loop, and we will do the same for the other loops by hitting Shift plus Alt plus left click. Now we will hit Ctrl plus B to bevel it, and we'll leave it like this. And now we will do the same in these edge loops. So again Alt plus left click, Shift plus Alt plus left click, and again Ctrl plus B to make bevels. It is done. Now what we will do, we will enable face selection mode and X-ray vision. Now we will select these faces of the cylinder and the bottom face loop. So for that Shift plus Alt plus left click, and now we will separate it into different objects so that we can apply some thickness to it. So we will hit P key and hit enter to separate it into different objects. And now we will go to the object mode, and we will select this object, and we will apply a modifier named solidify modifier to add some thickness to these parts of the cylinder. So for that we will add solidify modifier, and we will leave the thickness to 0.01 meter because it looks good. Now these parts of the cylinder have some thickness, so we will apply this solidify modifier, and now we will add another mesh here, cylinder. So for that we will hit Shift plus A, and we will add a cylinder here, and we will scale it down and go into the front orthographic view, and now we will rotate it by 90 degree along x-axis. So for that we will hit RX 90. It is rotated along x-axis by 90 degree. Now what we will do, we will scale it down along z-axis. We will scale it down now, and we will grab it along z-axis to bring it in the middle portion of this part of the cylinder. And now what we will do, we will go to the edit mode by selecting this cylinder. So we are now we are on edit mode. We will go to the bottom view by Ctrl plus numpad 7 to go to the bottom view. And now what we will do, we will grab it along y axis and bring it here. Since our 3D cursor is here and our cylinder is here, we will set the median points to the 3D cursor by hitting period key on keyboard, and we will set the median point to the 3D cursor. We are doing so because we want to rotate it along this radius of the circle, and for that we need to set our median point at the center of this circle. And after setting the median point to this 3D cursor, we will hit Shift plus D. That will duplicate the cylinder, and we will hit R key on keyboard, and we can rotate it along this 3D cursor. Now what we will do, we will give it an angle of 60 degree, and we will repeat the process by hitting Shift plus R key on keyboard few times. Now it is done. Now we will go back to the object mode, and we will select this object, and we will apply boolean modifier to it, and we will select boolean object as this cylinder. Now we will apply the modifier. Now because the modifier is applied, we don't need these cylinders anymore, so we will delete these cylinders by hitting X on keyboard. Now we get nice and smooth holes here. That is great. And now what we will do, we will go to the render view, and we can now what we will do, we will go to the material viewport, and we can see that it does not look smooth and round. So for that we will select this, and we will hit right click, and we will set it smooth. We will also do the same for these parts of the cylinder. Here we can notice that it has a weird shading, so to fix it, we will select these parts, and we will go to the object data property, and we will apply auto smooth normals. We will do the same for this part of the cylinder. Now it is done. Now what we will do, we can still see that it has and now what we will do, we can still see that it is not a smooth curve here. So for and now what we will do, we can still see that it has not a smooth curve. So to make it smooth, we will apply subdivision surface modifier to this. So for this, we will select this part of the cylinder, and we will add another modifier, that is subdivision surface modifier, and it will automatically make it smooth. And now we get our nice and smooth gas cylinder. Now what we will do, selecting this, we will go to the edit mode, and now we can see that the joints are not as what we wanted. There should be a sudden bump here, but it is a smooth bump. So to make it a sudden bump, we will apply an edge loop here. So Ctrl plus R, and we will bring it here, and again Ctrl plus R in the bottom side to bring it here. And now we will select this edge loop by hitting Alt plus left click, and we will add some more bevels here using Ctrl plus B. Now it looks good. And now we can also see that here we don't want this type of slopes here. So to fix it, we will add another edge loop here using Ctrl plus R, and we will bring it towards the bottom side of this part. And now we don't want this sharp edge which is here. So to fix it, we will again add another edge loop here by hitting Alt Ctrl plus R, and we will bring it to the top side. Now it looks good. And now to add a metal nut here, we will select this edge loop using Alt plus left click, and we will bring our 3D cursor to the selected part using Shift plus S, and we will bring our 3D cursor to the selected. And now we will go to the object mode, because if we import a metal nut a cylinder here, then subdivision surface modifier will also apply to it. So we don't want that. So we need to go to the object mode, and since our 3D cursor is already here, we will hit Shift plus A to bring a cylinder here, and the cylinder is much bigger than what we need, and it has a way more segments than what we need to make a metal nut. So we will go to the cylinder property, and we will give it this segment of 6, and we'll hit enter on keyboard, and we will scale it down. to make it smaller. And now we will scale it up a little bit and we will scale it down along z-axis. Now it looks good. Now what we will do, we can see that there is a gap here and also here. So to fix it, we will select all and we will go to the edit mode, and we will hover our cursor over this part of the cylinder, and we will hit L key on keyboard to select all the linked parts, and we will grab it using Z key, and we will bring it along positive Z axis by using our arrow key. Now it looks good, and we will do the same to this torus here. We will hover our cursor over this torus and we will hit L key on keyboard, and we will again grab it along positive Z axis and we will hit enter. And now we will do the same to these parts of the cylinder. So to do this, we will select all these parts. We will Ctrl plus L to select all the linked parts. And now we will grab it, and using our arrow key we will move it to the negative Z axis. Now it looks good. Now it is done. Now our cylinder is ready. Now it's time to apply materials and textures to our cylinder. We will search for some texture on Google. So let's search. So let's go to textures.com. This is a website where you can get a lots of texture and you get some credits for free. So let's search for the textures that we want. So we need a red painted metal. So let's search it. Now we can see that it has a lots of texture. So we will simply use a simple image texture. So we will select this one and we will download it. Now texture has been downloaded. Now we will go to the Blender again, and to apply these textures to our cylinder, we will go to the UV editing, and we will select this part of the cylinder, and we will hit Ctrl plus L to select all the linked parts, and we will hit UV and click on Smart UV Project and hit OK. It will automatically unwrap our cylinder into a UV map and looks nice. So now it's time to import the texture that we just downloaded. So we'll go to the downloads and we'll search for textures.com metal scratch area. Now we'll open this image here. We can see that the image has been imported, but then also there is no effect on the cylinder. So let's first check whether it is on materials report, and now even after enabling materials report, the material is not applied to it. So to make some changes, we will go to the materials tab and we will add new material, and to the base color we will add image texture, and to the image texture we will add the image that we just imported, and boom, the material is applied to the cylinder. Now we will select these parts where the material is not applied, and we will again apply this material to it. So we will go to the object mode and we will select this part of the cylinder, these parts of the cylinder, and we will again go to the edit mode, and now we will select the material. Now the material is applied to the cylinder. Now we will apply some different materials to this knob of the cylinder. So we will go back to the object mode and we will select this part of the cylinder, and we will again go back to the edit mode, and we will enable wireframe mode and disable X-ray effect. Now we will enable face selection mode, and we will select this face of the cylinder, and we will hit Ctrl plus few times, and now this part of the cylinder is selected. So what we will do, we will apply another material to it. So we'll add another material, new, and we want to make it metallic, so metallic like copper. So let's give it a yellow color, and increase the metallic property to 1, and let's enable again the materials code. Let's assign this material to it. It looks way more shinier than what we need. So again we will hit Ctrl+Z to select this part, and we will decrease the specular a little bit, and we will make it a little bit darker. Now it looks like copper. Now what we will do, we will add another material for this part of the cylinder. For that we will enable the face selection mode, and we will hit Alt plus left click to select this face loop, and we will add another material to it. It will be just simple white material. So it is done. Now we will go to the object mode, and we will select this metal nut, and we will grab it along negative z axis a little bit, and selecting it we will apply another metallic material to it, which will be metallic but not like copper. So for that we will go to the base color, and we will make it a little bit darker, and we will increase the metallic to 1, and done. And now we can see that our cylinder is successfully created.